Yo, what's poppin'? It's your boy TJ. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are reacting to MeetMattL trading Forex with $400,000 at 23 years of age. I think it would be good to hear his perspective of it, how much he's making with a 400k account, and see what it's really about. I haven't actually watched this yet. It's a 10-minute, 59-second video. If you are new around here, subscribe to the channel, leave notifications on. I upload 2 videos every single day on the reacts. Without further ado,
I'm 23 years old and I'm currently trading Forex full-time with $400,000, but it wasn't always like this. The vast majority of my trading journey has been frustrated, lost, and with a bank account that continually kept dropping, but that is no longer the case. How did I get to this point? In this video, I'm going to tell you how I went from $0 to $400,000.
I tell you what helps you get here, prop firms. Link is in description, the Forex funder.
And 3 lessons to help you do the same. It's time for a little story time. When I was back in school at around 18 years old, I had a friend that one day during class was not paying attention at all, and he was just always on his laptop. So eventually I asked him, what the heck are you doing? And he told me that he was trading Forex. Now at the time I had heard a little bit about it. I thought it was a scam. I thought it was kind of impossible. But he told me that he grew like $500 to $10,000, and I did not believe him at all. So he opened up his laptop and he showed me his C-Trader balance, and lo and behold, it was $10,000, and from that very second I was hooked. For the rest of the semester, just like him, I didn't pay attention. We were both on our laptops trying to trade different pairs to make some money. And in the meantime, to make that money, I devoured every piece of information that I could, from baby pips, free resources online.
Baby Pips is one of the websites where basically everything you need to know for a beginner in Forex is on this. So literally there's YouTubers out there, fake gurus that will sell this course content, and it's all from Baby Pips, which Swaggy C did it in a video which we reacted to.
And I even started to pay for different groups, courses, and communities, eventually spending $10,000, which is a story for another day.
He spent $10,000 just on courses, and he said it never even helped him. But, you know, it must have helped him a teeny bit, because look where he is today. So, it didn't help him through trading. It helped him avoid.
Once I absorbed all this information and I demo traded for a little while, I thought that I was only a few months away from basically becoming a millionaire. So I dropped a couple $100s into a live account, and I still remember taking my very first live trade. I was living in the basement of my parents' place, a few $100s in the account. I can't remember the lot size, but I took a trade and right away I was up a few cents. I closed it and I literally made like a 39 cents, and looking back it's kind of ridiculous, but in the moment I was pretty pumped. I went upstairs, my parents asked me how did the trading go, and I said amazing, I made 39 cents, and I was hooked from the very get-go. But from that point on, I basically made every possible mistake you can make. It was only downhill from here. I rather quickly lost that account. A few members of my family gave me money to trade with, and I lost that money as well, which was pretty frustrating and embarrassing. So I blew multiple accounts. I would trade without a stop loss.
Here we go. So for any beginners watching this, make sure to risk manage and have a stop loss. If you don't know how to risk manage, there's apps out there online, or you can use you know, Stinu, Nash Markets. There's loads of different risk management apps out there. Always risk max 1%.
I wasn't risk managed. I would take a trade, it would go against me, and I would reverse it, and then it would go against me again, so I'd reverse it back and forth. I'm sure many of you watching have probably done the same as well. But the point that I'm making is that I made every possible mistake in the book. But in hindsight, these mistakes and these lessons and frustrations actually led to the first lesson of this video, and that is learning lessons the hard way. What's interesting about growth in trading and life, and really anything, is that day to day our lives for the most part pretty much feel the same, but it's only when you look back that you can realize, wow, my life is totally different. I'm a different person. Nothing really looks the same as it did just a year ago, 6 months ago, or a few years ago. And that's because change takes a lot of time. It's different iterations. It's a compound game, and trading is exactly like that. So for the majority of my trading journey, it was spent in frustration. I felt like I wasn't making progress. But now I can look back and remember and see how I used to trade, and I can see clearly how...
That's the thing, man. Time is a weird thing. You're changing every day without realizing. You're either growing or you're getting worse. The way that I look at trading is like a self-development course. Honestly, is you reflect on yourself, your trades, the way that you handle situations. There's so much that goes into trading without just looking at a chart. It's actually mental, which is why I think trading is one of the best things that you can do. It's like the biggest, like, look in the mirror and you self-analyze yourself. You're critical in your own decision making. There's so much to it. It's crazy.
I'm a totally different person and a totally different trader. I'm not risk managed. I don't switch the direction of trades every 30 seconds. I'm not glued to the charts 24/7 or anxious or stressed or frustrated nearly to the same degree as I was when I first started. This lesson can only be realized though if you have patience, and the power of patience is the second lesson that I have learned throughout my trading journey, and it's really single-handedly the only reason why I have managed to secure funding of $400,000. If I wasn't patient at the very beginning or in the middle of my trading journey, then I never would have gotten to the point that I'm at now. We live in a world of instant gratification. I have a very addictive personality, and I'm not afraid to say that I am addicted to quite a few things. I am addicted to my phone. I'm addicted to these little dopamine rushes that we get, whether it's from a notification or an email or a like or comment on our videos or posts or whatever it is. I am addicted to these things, and that is just the society that we live in. Yes, there are things that I should be doing and need to do on my end to work on this addiction and this problem, but it...
Yo, Matt's just out here saying he's got an actual social media addiction or something going on.
Really has a massive impact on our trading, because trading is very similar to gambling in the sense that it can give you a massive dopamine.
Trading is gambling. Let's just first and foremost look. Yes, yes, I'm a trader. Yes, you can say trading's not gambling. It's gambling. You know, you're putting money in to get a reward. It is gambling. It's a gambling market, you know.
Rush, not only by making money, but just the excitement and the enjoyment of being able to watch the candles fluctuate, prices fluctuate. There's a lot of colors going and moving around. And that is why trading can be so attractive and so addictive. This instant gratification has some really negative repercussions when it comes to our trading, because we want that money, we want the result literally overnight. We want it by the end of the week. And if you don't have that patience, that's when the instant gratification is going to totally destroy your trading, to put it simply. Patience and instant gratification go hand in hand. So if you are struggling to remain patient, I encourage you to take a step back, take a larger bird's eye view at some of your day-to-day activities. Can you see whether or not you are addicted to instant gratification? Are you always on your phone? Are you always checking social media? I do have this issue, but this issue totally no longer applies to my trading, and I'm very, very happy to be able to say that. I'm no longer checking my trades all the time or potential setups. If I get into a trade, I'm able to look away from my screen, from my phone, whereas before I was not able to do that. So as a whole, if you want to live a healthy life, I think it's important to take as far a step back as possible from these very short-lived dopamine hits, but especially you need to 100% do it when it comes to trading. If you're using trading for gratification, it's not going to be healthy. You're going to make poor trading decisions as a result, and you're not going to find the success that you're looking for. But what's difficult is that, like most things in life, even if I'm telling you this, oftentimes we need to still experience things.
100. I'm glad he said this. No, guys, you don't have to watch this video and then become a professional trader. You have to learn from your own experiences. How many people tell you not to do something and you do it anyway? You've got to learn from yourself, because that's the only way you grow as a person, by learning from yourself. Doesn't matter what other people tell you, doesn't matter who tells you what. 9 times out of 10 you don't listen, and if you don't listen, yo, sometimes you make the mistake, sometimes you don't. That's just part of life. You take risks to get reward. So I'm glad he's saying this, because you're not out here having to become I'm going to become a professional trader straight away. I'm going to be insane. Enjoy the process, enjoy taking the losses, enjoy the journey, reading the charts, learning different strategies, learning different candle patterns. Enjoy it, because when you know everything, yes, trading you can make a lot of money and stuff like that, but when you know everything, I know you're not going to know everything because the chart's always changing, but like once you know majority of the stuff and you believe in yourself to a certain point where you know you can make money monthly profitable, then it's not the same as when you first put your trade on. The nostalgia ends, you know. It's like anything in life. But the great thing is, the better you get with trading, the more money you can make, because you start to build and compound your prop firm accounts and stuff like that, your live accounts, whatever accounts you're using, however you're trading, you start to grow and build as a person, and your money goes up, which means life just gets better. So,
and live things ourselves in order to be able to actually apply the lesson. There's this idea in yoga that you need to burn through karma in order to learn lessons, and it's kind of very similar to that. As a kid growing up, if your parents tell you don't touch the stove when it's on, well, you're probably going to want to touch the stove because you need to learn yourself what it feels like, what pain feels like, and how hot it is. And so while some of you, a minority of you watching, I hope are able to make that switch from watching this video, that's why I'm making it, to look at some of your habits to try and work through that instant gratification. Many of you watching are still going to need to make those mistakes, and that's totally fine because I was in that category. It's easy to read an article or watch a video of somebody saying, hey, remain risk managed, but until you've blown enough accounts and lost enough money, many people just aren't able to apply those reasonable and lessons that just make sense. Ultimately, it was the combination of persistence, patience, and working through all of these lessons that had to be learned that allowed me to go from $0 to $400,000. So before I discovered funding companies like Lark Funding, FTMO, My Forex Funds, I was trying to grow and compound my own trading capital, which is a very tedious and difficult thing to do. But once I found out about these companies, I withdrew the money from my personal account and I used it to invest in challenge accounts. And it's because of these lessons of staying patient that I was able to pass.
100%. The prop firms are the best. Link is in the description, theforexfunder.com. They're the best because look, you invest $1,000, let's say, you can get 200k account, bang. Forex Funder, $825, 200k account. What else are you gonna be able to do that? 1%, 200k, 2,000.
My first 100k FTMO challenge about almost 2 years ago at this point, and that is when things totally transformed for me. The first month when I was trading that account, I received a 10% withdrawal, a 10% payout, so it was roughly $10,000, and it totally transformed my life. All of the money that I had lost over 4 years of trading, I managed to make back in a single month. And I hope that is encouraging for many of you watching. If you are losing money, just know that trading is a game of compounding, and so if you are struggling and losing money, if you stick with it, you continue refining your strategy and your execution, it's really only going to take a handful of trades to make back all of the money you've lost, and that is only possible because of funding companies. So once I passed my first $100,000 FTMO challenge, I continued to reinvest those profits into additional funding challenges, which I passed, and now I'm able to make enough money to sustain myself, to pay my bills. I live very simply. There's no Lamborghini in the background. There's no super flashy lifestyle that I post on this channel, and that is by design. By focusing on things that actually matter in life, I'm able to keep my living expenses low and have a ton of freedom that really I think a huge amount of people would kill to have. So I'm very fortunate in that sense. And of course, as I continue to make more money, sure, there's a certain level of lifestyle inflation that I think is difficult to avoid, but if you remain disciplined just like in your trading, at least I hope that I'll be able to keep things under control. The lesson here is that trading can provide you a ton of freedom. You just have to stick with it. You just have to stick with it and continue to look back, not for so long. Your life is like driving a car. You have to continue looking forward, but you do have to look in the rear view mirror at times. So when you do that, you'll be able to see the progress that you have made, and that should help you keep moving forward. Just 2 months ago, I launched my own funding company, Lark Funding, after reading countless reviews from you guys for what it is that you're looking for in a funding company. It's only a one-stage, no time limit challenge, and we're seeing a lot of traders sign up and get close to that 10% target, and it's really a life-changing amount of money that you can trade with, all the way up to $500,000. So I encourage you guys to check that out. The link is in the description down below. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. And until then, peace.
What a video. Make sure to subscribe to Matt. Link is down below in the description. I wanted to see, you know, more of the 400k account, you know, the profit that he made, that he was talking about, the $10,000. I wanted to see some of that. Obviously, he's probably done that in other videos, but he was just briefly just talking about how life-changing the prop firm actually is, and you should go buy challenges. So if you guys want to take the prop firm challenges, and links in descriptions. But yeah, it's been your boy TJ. I'll see you in the next video. Peace, baby.